Hello everyone, welcome to a new mixing tutorial. Let's take a look at the tones on this cover of Spineless. I've listened to this song countless times in my car, dude. I used to have this album in my car and just listen to it every day, man. This song just gets me pumped like nothing else. So, master bus, turn it off. And I'll explain it at the end. This drum sound is the same drum sound as the Thornhill Nurture cover. This is not my latest drum sound, but the latest Invasion drum sound. Or not even, I don't know. But so that I don't have to repeat myself, because I know some of you have watched that already, you can go to the Thornhill Nurture mix tutorial to get the full rundown on this kit. Meant to be very attacky, very metal. And yep. Love Invasion for it. Featuring this recording custom kit and the recording custom snare. Tuned down. I use the tuning here to make it a little bit beefier. You can go see the full rundown on the Thornhill mixing tutorial. Let's see the bass. It's your boy Nuclear Bass by Impact Studios. I've been getting a little bit sick of Euro bass, so I am trying this guy out since I also have it. Different flavor, more of that dingwall-y thing, but it's not that dingwall, very harsh, maximum EQ on the preamp sound. It's very workable, going into Joey Sturgis, Joel Wanasek, Buzz Glue bass. Low-end compression and stability, high-end compression, and high-end distortion, most importantly. A little bit of pre-EQ reducing the mids at 500, which are annoying in some of the high notes, like there. Getting rid of that shit. Compressing it for attack, because the attack is a little bit slow at 10 milliseconds and it's boosted by this modifier, but the 8:1 ratio makes it very consistent. Also very quieter. It also serves for level purposes. Our bass is a harmonics generator that generates a little bit of low end, and I like to put it after the compressor because the compressor naturally takes some of it off. Our bass puts it back in. But we want just a little bit of it. The final EQ is here to shape that mid-range. The cut at 40 is to get rid of subs, and this is where we shape the very honky mid-range of the Joel Wanasek bass. 800 there is the biggest offender, as well as 400. The good stuff is at 2K, and the harsh stuff is at around 3K and 4K. Big difference there. But the crown jewel today is these guitars, brought to you by my first ever electric guitar, the Squier Telecaster with string source black pearls. This is a 70. It's a 70 gauge. It tunes perfectly in G. You guys have no idea how happy I am, because I've always played these low tunings with 52s and 60s, and this really feels good. And you can hear the in-tuneness. it just sounds like it should, right? Wage War Blueprints, mixed of course by Andrew Wade. Good thing I have his guitar tones right here. This is a 5150 Marshall cabinet, and the single string king is the very high gain version of whatever profile he did. So this is the highest gain version of the 5150, and it really gents. It's all about shaping it a little bit with EQ. The big thing is controlling the palm mutes. So there's a 6 decibel dynamic cut whenever a palm mute hits, around 150. Super boomy without it. Big help. Might have overdone it a little bit, but subs off beneath 85. Very negligible mid-range cut. A little bit of harshness at 2.5K. And to match Andrew Wade's original tone, this needed more 4K. And this EQ made the tone a lot more aggressive. Super cool. Boost that aggressiveness into soothe, and you can soften some of the harshest peaks. A very soft use of soothe there, just to double check. Make sure you can push the guitar a little bit louder without hurting anyone. And the transient designer trick. So this is a trick by Andrew Wade as well, where by using a transient designer on guitars, you can emphasize the attack portion every time there's silence. It helps on these djenty parts. You can see it do this to the pick attack instead of. I'll overdo it. That's what we're listening for. But just by 3 dB, maybe 4. Helps it poke through. And this pedal before everything is just a pitcher to make this effect. And that's the guitar tone. I love this song, man. Lo-fi tone is literally the same tone, but none of the plugins after, just Tone Hub. And on the EQ, the high pass is all the way up to 400 and the low pass is all the way down to 2K. So it just leaves you with this essential information. Very cool. This lead sound. It's the same tone as the rhythms with a little reverb on, 28% mix, not the longest length. Actually quite a bit of decay. EQ, a very important low cut, reduces a lot of rumble. And a mid boost to make it more present. Harshness cut and treble cut. Into soothe. Definitely more aggressive on the lead. Could listen to that riff all day. This is a cymbal swell. Very easy. This intro guitar is the same tone, but the trick is that it's panning from the right to the left. Very cool for the intro. Do it by pressing P on the track to open pen. And there you go. This intro mix, I printed the drums and guitar. Give them a volume swell, and I ran them through Saturn amplifier mode to distort them to hell and back. Sounds super cool. And as you can see, I automated the drive to come back a little bit as the volume rises to make it get cleaner into the beginning. Look. Super cool. A little bit of EQ on it. Bit less harsh then. And those are all the elements. A simple, hard-hitting song. Let's master it. I went heavy on the master. Interestingly, I went lighter on Gullfoss than usual. Because recover, so Gullfoss is this EQ, right, that tries to recover the material information that it thinks will sound best to the human ear and tame the information that would sound harshest or worst. So it does that by dynamically moving lots of points. And recover usually boosts bass and treble in a very dynamic way. And tame usually brings up the mid-range to tame the high mid-range. And on this mix, tame worked super well. I don't usually like tame because it boosts the mid-range in a way that I don't like, but this mix could use it. And recover just does the usual bass balance and cymbal sheen. So if you look at that and I bypass it, you should be able to tell. Sounds a little bit more professional with it on, and of course a little bit more shiny, which I like. Hard on the bus compressor. I mean, not hard, but constantly on it. And the transformer iron really comes into play today with a big low end boost. It's not big, but if you listen to the bass, you can tell. I bet that now that I told you to focus on the bass, it made it a lot bigger. Multi-band compressor going harder even today. The main reason was to control the low end because the kick was very subby compared to the original. So I made sure the threshold was hit a little bit harder so that the kick would duck a bit. And I used it to EQ a little bit of the low mid-range out. Compressed that section a little bit more to get a little bit mud out of the mix, and it just made the mix a little bit more intense and scooped, which is just yet another cool way. I feel like every mixing tutorial I use the multi-band compressor on the master a different way to show you what it can do. I can make it sound brutal as fuck. I can soften it a little bit. It all depends on what you do with each band. Super cool. Into tape, because I wanted this mix to be thick as hell, and running it through a amount 1 of tape. I usually do 0, just turn it on, but amount 1, it glues everything together. It's a little bit more quiet, but a little bit more glued together. Adds a little bit more perceived weight. And then limiter. You know what I like to do on the limiter? Chopping off the kick and snare to make it loud. You can see main offenders are the kick and snare. Not trying to dig into the guitars on this one because it's already pretty compressed. So that's the mixing tutorial, guys. I hope you liked it. I'm very happy, especially with what I managed to do with this guitar. And if you have any questions, drop them down below. And thank you so much for supporting the channel and the Patreon. It really means a lot to me, especially in recent times. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.